Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is not rude. It does not boast. Love also forgets wrong. I'm Austin Johnson, and this is Filmgazm. Incredibly grateful to be here today with my lovely wife. She hasn't been on the podcast in quite some time, but we wanted to bring her back for a very special episode on Waves from 2019. This is a part of our top 10 films of the 2010s project. This is my number 9. And Brianna, I feel like if you did a top 10, it'd probably be in yours, right?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. So this is one of those movies that we connected on pretty early on in our relationship. We had probably been together for about a year and a half at that point.
Yeah.
Because it came out, I want to say, in the fall of 2019. So yeah, I mean, a good year and a half, almost 2 years actually at that point. So this is one of those A24 movies that looked right up our alley, and you're right. It's got a really cool cast, really amazing story, and it's a movie that we've rewatched like 15 20 times already. Even though it's really heavy, we just both respond to it so much. In fact, we just finished it a little bit ago. We were watching the last 20 minutes or so, and I started crying, and so I cried, went to the restroom, came back, and here we are, doing this movie. So Brianna, I wanted to kind of, for the listeners who don't know you as well, I know A24 movies are something we both connect on. Like, we're both big fans of a lot of movies from A24. So, like, what is your favorite thing about A24 distributed movies?
I think I like them because it's not the usual type of content that you will get in mainstream media, and a lot of the stuff that you see kind of like displayed like on TV, like the trailers. You don't really see a lot of those things. There's a lot of different unique ideas in these specific films. And recently, I want to say earlier this year or late last year, I kind of went on like a binge of just A24 movies that I haven't seen, that either I've heard you talk about or Adam or Connor, and just kind of dove into it and watched as much as I could, and just grown to love those types of movies more and more.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, you know Connor very well because you also worked with us
I did,
at the
yes.
Draft House. So you met Connor around the same time that I did.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course, Adam because he's my brother. And yeah, I mean, I think movies are a big part of like our conversations if we're ever hanging out. So um, it's been cool to kind of like our relationship grow in that way, like movie watching, to from seeing movies in theaters together to kind of like watching stuff, finding things that we both enjoy, to you showing me certain things that maybe I wouldn't have liked as much before, and vice versa. It's been really fun to like grow in that way. But I'd say like the like independent movies and horror movies are like what we first connected on,
Yeah.
like proper horror movies like The Conjuring, like shit like that. That's just like textbook horror. And then these independent type movies that are like tell like really delicate stories about, especially about youth, about maybe members of certain communities that we both feel like deserve stories to be told about them. I feel like early on in our relationship we just connected it on that, and Waves kind of captures a lot of things that we both like. It's pretty scary at times. It's got like really cool representation in it. It's got obviously a really awesome soundtrack. So it kind of has all the hallmarks of like a Austin and Brianna movie. So it feels right that you're on this episode. I know Adam really likes this movie and Connor does too, but we all kind of agreed, let's let Austin and Brianna do this because this is one of our favorite mutual movies for sure. So I set something up to try to get your brain moving a little bit, and so the listeners could get to know you more. It's an A24 tournament. So I've done this to Connor many times. I've like tried to stump him like using like different Oscar nominated movies or whatever, and like I'll set him up to against each other. So he has to vote on one of the two movies that he likes better. Or we've done it with performances as well. So this will be all A24 distributed movies. There's 16 of them that I chose. I went off my memory mostly, but I also looked at your letterbox and was like, oh yeah, she likes that one too. Like she gave that 4.5 stars. So I kind of went off of like what your favorites are,
Mhm.
but I also try to like get a lot of different kinds of movies there. So let's start with Waves. Waves up against Eighth Grade. Eighth Grade is the Bo Burnham directed film that's very,
Yeah,
very good, like very, very effective. Came out in 2018. I think we saw it in theaters
we did.
together,
Yeah.
and we both were like, "Holy shit!" Like Bo Burnham, that goofy comedian, just made like a really, really well done movie from the perspective of a little girl. And there's some amazing stuff in that movie. So that was my first matchup: is Waves versus Eighth Grade. Really, that's already making you think like that.
I mean, I love them both for different reasons. I'm going to go with Waves.
Yeah, I mean, I figured. Do you remember? I'm trying to remember where we saw Eighth Grade.
It was either Bijou or Embassy.
It had to be,
Bijou.
yeah, it had to be Santikos, I would imagine.
Mhm.
But yeah, I vividly remember seeing that and both being we both were excited for it, but when we walked out, we were like, oh, that like kind of made me cry, Like
Yeah.
had some really cool stuff from, well, I think she's like 13 or 14, and I felt like it was incredible the way that movie was made. But yeah, Waves is kind of tough to beat.
There's a lot more elements, I think, in that movie.
Yeah, and of
But
course we'll talk about a lot of
yeah.
them later on. We'll do awards for Waves and talk more about it. But I figured that was an easy one to get out of the gate right away. Here's one that I'm really really interested to hear you talk about it, because I think I know what you're going to do, but they're very very different. You have Moonlight, kind of the A24 darling, golden child,
Yeah.
versus Bodies, 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 which is a movie I thought was okay, but you really liked. And I was looking at your letterbox and I was like, oh, I forgot how much she liked this movie. We saw that came out maybe a year ago.
Yeah.
And we saw that in theaters together at the Regal Hebner Oaks. That was just us two. Do you remember that old couple?
Yeah.
They were like in the front row and they were like, what the fuck are we doing here?
They did not know what they were walking into.
Yeah, but you really liked Bodies, Bodies, Bodies.
I did. I thought it was funny. I like this the satire with all like the Gen Z and all those little nods here and there. And I do like the fact that it was like almost like a whodunit
Yeah.
type of horror. I don't think a lot of people tend to like those anymore because it feels kind of played out, but I always like it when it's done in a specific way. And I like that it was just like a different twist on that type of horror movie. But I would have to pick Moonlight
Yeah.
just because I don't I don't know how to describe accurately what that movie makes me feel when I do watch it. I mean, I've been trying to get anyone who will listen to me to watch it since I've seen it. I've been trying to get my mom to watch it. And I also like the representation that's in there. I mean, you don't get a lot of like
Oh my god, yeah.
LGBT movies, especially once they're centered around two like black men. And I think that's one reason why it also like sits with me in a different way than it's up there with Waves for me.
I figured those two were kind of going to be really hard to beat, because it has a lot of things that you enjoy. But yeah, Moonlight, not only is it like just really cool and really good, really well done, it like made a pretty good amount of money, won bunch of Oscars, which is cool. It felt like no way, there's no way that this not just black directed, black written, but entirely black cast. There's not everyone in it is black, and that was wild. Like that it beat La La Land was really wild. Like history was made that night. So at the Oscars, but aside from that, the movie's just fucking incredible. We'll be doing an episode on that. It's gonna be a while from now because it was my number 3 on our list, and I think Adam had it at number 6. So we both had it in our top 10. So we're gonna save it for later on in the project. But I cannot wait to do that. Connor and I did an episode on it fucking 2 years ago, maybe. Early on in Oscar Sunday, we did Moonlight as kind of a Best Picture showdown type episode, and we both just raved about it. And any chance I get to talk about it, I will. I think it's one of the best movies that I've ever seen. So Moonlight, Bodies, 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 tough matchup for Bodies, 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 but it is clever. Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. I'll give it that. And the cast is fun. Pete Davidson's just doing his thing, being real fucking weird. What's her name? Amanda
Stanford.
I liked her. I thought she was good, and then I liked the other girl.
The one that was in Shiva Baby.
she was great. She was kind of the
Yeah.
standout. But
Yeah.
the other black girl I thought was really good. I can't fucking remember her name, but I think her name's Jordan in the movie. And she was kind of ended up being my favorite character because she was so like she had like a hostility to her that I thought was like really engaging. Because she got more and more frustrated as the movie went on, like with the whodunit side of it. I thought she was awesome.
Yeah, I think her name is Mahala
Mahila,
Harold.
yeah, Mahila Harold, yeah. Shout out to her. She's great. I'd love to see her do more stuff. So Moonlight beats Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. Let's see. Let's move to the other side of the bracket. All right. Here's a good one. Straight horror versus horror.
Okay.
Ari Aster versus Ari Aster. Hereditary versus Midsummer. Let's hear it. You know this says a lot to, especially to our leader, our fearless leader, Connor, is going to judge you if you choose one over the other.
No pressure, I guess.
Yeah, no pressure.
Well,
yeah, there's definitely a one with the Filmgazm team. There's one that everybody loves, and then there's the other one that Austin loves. But I love both of them. So talk your way through it if you have to. Yeah.
I'm so upset that you put these two together.
I wanted to get their Ari matchup. Yeah, I mean, come on.
I'm gonna go with Midsommar.
Ooh, why?
That was my introduction film to Florence Pugh.
Ooh, that's a big deal.
Yeah, and that was when I'm so sorry, Connor. I can just feel the judgment, and I like them because I feel like yes, they're both like really tough horror movies, but I feel like because that was my introduction to Florence, and I was just like, wow, this person's amazing. I couldn't help myself but to just that sent me down the spiral of like, let's just watch all her movies now. And
ooh, that's a big deal.
yeah, I think that's why it's that way for me. But I did like seeing Hereditary with like you, and I think it was Andrew Connor was there too, wasn't he? No, it was Andrew and Joanne.
Grant.
And Grant.
I don't know if Andrew and Joanne were at that screening with us because we went to like the employee one.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, with
if
Grant.
We did, we somehow.
I mean, I saw it like 4 times.
Yeah, you saw it a lot.
Yeah.
But at some point, I think you didn't see it with me firsthand. So
that's very possible.
Yeah,
so well, yeah, because let's see, 2018. I'm trying to remember like when exactly this came out, like what month, or I feel like it was in the summer. I feel like it was in fucking June. I know Midsommar was also a summer movie. Yes. Midsummer, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yeah, there's a debate on that one.
Yeah, I definitely saw Hereditary multiple times. June. Okay, yeah. I saw it though. I know Grant was like right next to me.
Yes,
I know that,
and I was present.
Okay.
And
at that first one.
Yeah, I feel like Andrew was there.
Because remember Brett Stoll was in front of us like 2 rows, and when it ended, he was like, "Well, fuck me," because it's just so fucking rowdy. Yeah. But so Midsommar, you like them both movies, but because Florence Pugh,
that's the only breaker for me.
Hey, you gotta find your way. Yeah.
I don't have like a lot of like, I guess, female actresses that I really like admire in ways like that, and it's really rare for me to be like, oh, this person's like really like different or like for me or like amazing for me. And so when I saw that, I was like, I really like what I just saw, and I like how she executed it. And she's been stuck in my brain ever since. I've watched just about anything I could that she's in.
Yeah, she's unreal. Well, I love Midsommar, and I understand why people hate it.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
it's so far up its own ass, and every character aside from her is so fucking flat. Like, it's so like so stereotypical. Yeah. Like, it's basically like her who's just like this lost girl who's like gone through tragedy at the beginning of the movie, and her boyfriend sucks dick. Like, he's the biggest douchebag. And then all the other guys, like Will Poulter's character, also major dickhead. The other dude, also kind of a dick.
All of them were terrible.
They're all just assholes. They're all like college assholes. And then it's Florence Pugh just like, fuck me, all these men suck.
Losing her mind.
Yeah. But I do like just love the way it looks and love the way it sounds and how eerie it is. And I was a big fan. I think
that's why I like it too, because it seems so like bright.
Pageant. It's like pageantry.
Yeah. But it's not a bright movie whatsoever. Like, just
yeah.
Like, there's not a moment where it's just like it's calm. It's like always something chaotic, even though it looks so bright. And there's so many like things that don't really relate to horror film. Like just I don't know how to describe it anymore, but like it's it's stomping me because I feel like I have to defend this movie
No,
because I know
you don't have to prove shit to anybody.
I know that it's not when we're putting it together with Hereditary. I know that it's not matching up on this team, which is fine.
Well, that's also because Hereditary is such a like textbook horror movie.
Yes,
that that is original. Feels very original.
Very original.
Midsummer feels like it's definitely taking its influences and maybe wearing it too much on its sleeve.
yes,
And I get that. And so I understand like all of his movies are like have flaws in them, especially his newest one, Beau is Afraid. But that's like part of the reason I love his movies is like there's divisiveness around it. And I think movies need that. I think Waves, like if you look at we're gonna talk later about it. I'm super stoked, but like Waves has this whole crowd, especially on the letterbox community, that fucking hates its guts.
yeah. I
like
just did a quick scroll of the reviews.
like absolutely hates it. Everybody who loves it is like, this movie looks awesome, the soundtrack's great, the performances, I cried. Everybody who hates it is like, this is a racist piece of shit.
Or like it's a Tumblr esque.
Yeah, it's all yeah, which like fine, fair enough, like whatever, That's but I love that about movies. Is like I love when they like I don't want them to tear people apart, but I want them to like create conversation. And I feel like Ari Aster's movies are built for conversations. So while like I can pick apart all three of his movies, I do think I enjoy all of them. So good. I'm glad I matched those up against each other. The other side, let's see. Let's have some fun here. So last year, a little movie called Everything Everywhere All at Once, did some damage to the Oscars and made a lot of money, and everybody was like, "Oh, who are all these people?" Even though they've been around forever. Great film. I wanted to match that up against a movie that has kind of like a symbolic thing for me anyway. And I'll see if you like feel the same way. It's mid '90s. So Everything Everywhere All at Once versus mid '90s. Again, we both saw both of these together in theaters. Very different experiences. We saw Everything Everywhere All at Once, I believe, with my brother and his now ex-wife. And we saw mid '90s with Connor, Jawan, Andrew, all at the Bijou.
Yes.
And Adam. Adam was there as well. And we were just kind of like, holy fuck, like what a fun movie. It didn't, it wasn't trying to say too much. It was saying just enough. It's like an hour and 20 minutes. I rewatched it the other night. It's so good. It's so fun. And I just remember that's like a core memory now for me because I was like surrounded by people I love, and I love that, and vice versa. Watching a fun movie at the Bijou, which is now closed down. So like, I'll never forget that. But Everything Ever All Once we saw again at Regal Huebner Oaks, a good theater that's just up the road for us. So, what do you think about these two movies?
I think that this is also a horrible decision to
This
make.
is the point.
I know you're enjoying this too. Yeah, I'm going to have to say Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah.
I like the way I felt when I left the theater. And even though a lot of people didn't seem to kind of understand, because it is a little out there.
Yeah, my mom was like, "What?"
Yeah, there's a specific demographic of people who are like, "I didn't understand it."
Fair, yeah.
Yeah, but like, I was sitting there and I was taking it all in, and when I was able to have a conversation with you guys afterwards, it seemed like we all kind of gathered the same understanding what it was trying to say and what it was trying to do, and it felt oddly nostalgic in a way.
Yeah.
And despite the craziness that was going on screen, especially like towards the end, it just felt comforting as it kind of kept going on and on. I like being able to walk away feeling something like positive and like safe in a way, if that makes sense.
For sure. Yeah, I know what you mean. The thing that hit me the most seeing that with you was like thinking about you and our daughter.
Yeah, that's exactly where my mind was at.
Just knowing that there's going to be really tough moments ahead for us being parents of a daughter. and also really great moments and moments that we like have to be ready for and maybe are going to be harder for you than for me because you're the mom and because she's a girl and because there's just something about a mother-daughter relationship that's going to have its moments of kind of
Why not it?
and yeah, I think most people would say like, oh, it gets rocky. I don't think it always has to be that way, but it's going to be testy, you know.
Well, yeah,
They're going to test you.
yeah, but that's also what's showcased in the movies that I think because of the fact that there's obviously two generations, the older one typically feels like, well, I've been around longer,
Yeah.
I know more than you do, and that's where the kind of the block in the relationship can start because they're not willing to see their child's point of view because they think they have everything figured out. Whereas I feel like I'd be a little different with parenting because I've experienced that in my own household, that I'm going to be willing to like I guess, understand that just because I'm older doesn't mean that I can't learn from my own child, and she can't teach
Mm,
me new things and show me
already.
different yeah, already. So, that's kinda like what I took from it, and although I did think of our relationship with her, I also thought about my relationship with my mother,
Oh yeah.
and then how her point of view of our relationship seemed maybe through her eyes, and
Hmm.
just kinda made me sit down and think about all of that, and I kinda liked having to sit there and just think about things that I normally wouldn't on a day-to-day basis like that, and just really dive deep into that part.
Yeah, yeah, something that probably should be thought about every day,
But it
but
just
it just slips, you know. Like you just get busy, you're thinking about different things. But yeah, you're definitely looking at the movie from Michelle Yeoh's perspective and Stephanie Sue's
mhm,
perspective because you're a mom and you're a daughter. Your mom is definitely probably relates to Michelle Yeoh because they're close in age.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And you would hope. I think this movie will last forever. I think it's gonna be one of those kind of staples from the 2020s, not just because of its Oscar relevancy, but just because it's really good. I think like our daughter will see this movie at some point if she's into movies. Hopefully, I would imagine she's going to be.
yeah,
She already kind of is
she's
going.
showing
She's
it.
trending in that direction because of who we are, and she can't really avoid it. It's kind of it's just going to be passed down. But I would hope that she watches this movie, finds it on her own, and watches this and is like, wow, like appreciates you,
Mhm,
more, or wants to make that connection even deeper. So, yeah, it's a great movie. Mid '90s is awesome, but it just doesn't really hold a candle to a movie as big as Everything Ever All at Once. But mid '90s is fun. Sunburn.
it's a very fun laid back movie.
It is. It's got some tough moments.
Mhm,
Like when I was rewatching it, I forgot because I've seen it so many times, but I just forgot how emotional that scene is whenever he's screaming at his mom after she like embarrasses him in front of like all of his new friends, Ray and fuck shit, and Ruben in fourth grade. They're all older than him, and she
yeah,
embarrasses the shit out of him, and he's like screaming at her like "fuck you, shut the fuck up," and he's like "I can't trust you anymore," and he's like 12 or 13, but like that in the moment, like in the now, that means everything. Like
yeah,
that means the world. It's like if your mom doesn't like have your back or doesn't have it in the right way, they're just like fuck
yeah,
you, mom. Yeah, like he tells his brother at one point like I hate her. Like there's this just disdain for like who she is and what she's done. And you would hope at the end of the movie there's kind of some kind of building that bridge back, but it kind of takes a wild turn there when that happens. And I love that scene because that's also when Ray, played by Nakel Smith, comforts him and is like, "Hey man, like I know you like think your shit's tough, but like you look in your closet, you're not going to trade your shit for their shit, so like let's go skate." It's such a cool moment, but most of the movie is fun, goofy. I mean, there's a kid named Fuck Shit,
yeah, right,
fuck shit, that's dope. But yeah, it reminds me of my friends, really, especially Andrew and Jawan.
yeah.
It definitely reminds me of them. Every time I watch it, I text either both of them or one of them. So
I like that you brought that one up too because of Lucas Hedges being
yeah,
just completely opposite of what we're about to talk about.
yeah. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about another one that he's in. I mean, this dude, Lucas Hedges. I think I'm ready to have. I have like a hot take, and nobody has ever agreed with me ever. And I don't know if it stands right now, but in 2017, 2018, 2019, like he had done Manchester by the Sea, Waves, mid 90s. He did Boy Erased, which I thought was fucking super underrated. And then he's in Lady Bird. At that time, it was kind of like Saoirse Ronan, him, Timothy Chalamet, Zendaya, all these different actors, like this generation. I personally think Lucas Hedges is better than Timothy, but like obviously Timothy's gotten way more like big chances. Yeah. He's in Dune, like fuck me. He's correct. Yeah, and he's got the Call Me by Your Name, that huge Oscar nomination. Lucas Hedges is up for Manchester by the Sea, but it doesn't feel as important as Call Me by Your Name. And Timothy Chalamet was up for Best Lead Actor for that. So I always get shit for it, but I'm like, I always am in the Lucas Hedges camp. It's hard to be in that camp now because he hasn't done as much stuff as Timothy, but at this time, 4 or 5 years ago, I like firmly believed it. So yeah, let's talk about Lady Bird. Lady Bird in 2017. I rewatched that a few nights ago as well. Fucking lights out. I love that movie to death. I have that against The Farewell. Yeah, Farewell is underrated. Farewell is really good.
We also saw it at the Bijou. Correct?
Yes, we did. We've seen a lot of these movies at the Bijou. Yeah.
I'm going to have to go with The Farewell, I believe.
Okay. Going Team Aquafina on this one?
I wouldn't say that.
I knew, yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm more of a fan of just I like the movie a lot, and just comparing it to like do I want to backtrack? No, I'm sticking with Farewell. I like Lady Bird. That was one of the movies that I did watch when I was going through my A24 binge. Because I'm behind on all this conversation on Lady Bird and all the other movies, and so this is one of them that I sat down, like just texted you, I think, as soon as I was done, or I texted you while I was watching it.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a great movie, but I don't think movies like The Farewell get a lot of recognition.
No, they don't. You're right. Written and directed by Lulu Wang, like real representation. But kind of a Chinese family that's going through some tough stuff, but also like really, really funny, really witty at times, and then has kind of the hallmarks of a A24 dramedy movie, a comedy drama, where it's just like laugh out loud moments, but also moments that just tear you down. And I thought that movie was incredible. I think Connor saw that with us. I'm pretty sure, because I remember him digging that one a lot as well, and we both were just kind of yeah, we were both just kind of in awe, like who's this Lulu Wang? And I think at the time, I don't know if they still are, but Lulu Wang and Barry Jenkins were dating. Director, of course, of Moonlight, and If Beale Street Could Talk. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if they're still together, but that's a power couple.
Yeah,
Lulu Wang and Barry Jenkins make a movie together. That'd be sick.
That'd be awesome.
So that's cool. Yeah, Farewell. I had a feeling you'd pick it just because I know you connected with it big time. But Lady Bird, man,
I know it blows you away.
And you know what? I think Lady Bird. One of the reasons I connect with it is because of its awareness, like the fact that it uses kind of like quirky 2002 pop culture stuff, like Dave Matthews Band plays Alanis Morissette. They're not like doing the typical they're doing like what was cool in the moment rather than like what's cool in retrospect.
Right.
Because in 2000, like Dave Matthews Band gets a lot of shit, but I love when like Lady Bird, like Saoirse Ronan's character Christine, she's like, I love this song. I like Crash Into Me. She's like, I don't care. Fuck it. Even though it's not quote unquote cool, I dig it because it means something to me and my friend. I love her friend Jules. She's amazing in it. That's Feldstein being Feldstein. Lucas Hedges is great. Timothy Chalamet is great. But the parents, Laurie Metcalf and Tracy Letts, they fucking destroy me. I can't. I have a really hard time watching Tracy Letts' performance in that because it's a little too raw. And there's some stuff like being a dad that I'm like, oh fuck, I hope I don't have to. I hope I don't have to go through this because it's so kind of gut wrenching. And Tracy Letts does it with such grace Incredible movie and a great ending too. So I love that one. Let's see. How about here's here's one I honestly don't know where you're gonna go. Another good movie with a lot of great representation. Minari
Okay.
came out, I believe, in 2020, and The Florida Project, 2017. That's a tough one. I'm not sure. I know you like both of them, but I'm not sure if you're in love with them. Like these two to me are like damn near masterpieces.
I those are also part of my that little spell of just watching back to back A24 movies, and I was really like excited that I was able to find Minari because I didn't think I was going to be able to. But I think I have to go with the Florida Project just because I kind of like that it's almost told through like a child's like viewpoint,
Yeah,
and that I don't know why it kind of sticks with me, but I know I couldn't stop thinking about Minari when I was done watching it, but
yeah.
I just I thought the Florida Project was just nicely done, and I love Willem Dafoe's character in the
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
Um, I don't know. I didn't. I got the recommendation to actually watch it because I saw that Caitlin had it on her letterbox like for the
Caitlin,
longest
I've never
time.
met someone more obsessed with the movie than
Yeah,
Caitlin is with the Florida Project.
it. I mean, for the most part, if she ever suggests a movie or a book to watch, it's never like a wrong like suggestion. So
It's pretty
maybe
good
for it.
taste. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I watched it, and I believe I cried at some point. I was laughing. I was really angry at some points, and it kind of takes you through all these different emotions, and I don't. It just it might be one of my favorites, to be honest.
Florida Project.
I think
Yeah,
so. I think it's safe to say it might be.
yeah. Me too. It's always been one that I have a hard time choosing movies over it because it feels so near and dear to my heart. So yeah, it's definitely like somewhere in my probably in my top 10 like favorite A24 movies ever.
I put it in my top
Uh,
10.
there's some I didn't know if I wanted to include in this list just because like I wasn't sure how you felt about it. Like one of my very favorites, probably like my maybe third or fourth favorite is Under the Silver Lake. And I know you like that one, but you gave it like three and a half stars Letterboxd, and I was like, nah, this tournament's only for four and above, four and up. And so I found like exactly 16
Really?
that were four and up, and you had a lot of four and a halfers, not quite five stars, but right there. So yeah, I think Florida Project is one of those. I think Florida Project is a four and a half. It is for me as well. So God, I love that movie. And Sean Baker, like God bless Sean Baker. He's one of my favorite filmmakers. He's the guy who did Tangerine.
Oh, okay.
Love Tangerine. Great movie. That's my favorite of his. And then Florida Project, and then Red Rocket from 2 years ago.
Red Rocket. Seen that.
Yeah, Red Rocket's awesome. Red Rocket's one of my favorites because, I mean, first off, it's so vulgar and so like disgusting, but hilarious. And the main guy's an ex porn star, so you can kind of guess where it goes. But it's also it's in Texas, outside of Galveston. I can't remember what the fucking city's called. But it's all filmed in Texas.
I think I've been around when you've watched it before.
Yeah, I've watched it a couple times, like not that long ago. I really, really like Red Rocket. I highly, highly recommend that one. Also, Tangerine and Florida Project is just great. But Minari, Lee Isaac Chung directed, came out in 2020. I wanted it to win Best Picture that year. Lost to Nomadland. Yeah. I just thought that movie fucking ruled. Like, I thought it was so good. It tore me to shreds. And Stephen Yeun, I know he's not the easiest guy to talk about right now, but man, oh man, is he good in that movie?
Yes.
He's just a fucking incredible actor. But so Florida Project's taking that. I had a feeling, but
you had a feeling that Florida was in one?
Yeah, but I think really no. And Florida Project 2, I've always seen there's like this thing where if you can make it through all three, there's the Florida trio: Moonlight, Florida Project, Waves. And I don't know why Spring Breakers isn't included in that, because Spring Breakers is also A24.
It is.
And it's in Florida, and it's fucking ridiculous. I also love that movie. But it's like a serious, fucking Moonlight, Florida Project, and Waves is gonna be like a tough 6 hours of your life. But if you can do it, I've done it once. If you can do it, you should try it out. I did it one time, and it was quite a day. It was when you were in Vegas. Yeah,
Um,
I like. I was like, all right, I'm gonna.
it's a lot of emotions in one day.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I bought some beer, just ordered myself a pizza, and I was off or something, so I just sat there and just watched these three movies in a row, and I was like, fuck, someone help, you know. Before you know it, the sun's going down, and you're like, oh, I can't go outside. I'm a loser.
No.
All right, next matchup. I wanted to pit these against each other because they're fucking polar opposite. No idea where you're gonna go. Uncut Gems versus Room. Adam Sandler's wonky, crazy.
You're really taking your time to make sure you just paired up.
Oh yeah,
stump.
I took all week making sure this was perfect. Yeah, and Room, of course, is like one of the most serious movies of all time.
It is. It is. When I got done watching it, I immediately recommended it to my mom because she recently got, I wouldn't say got on a Brie Larson kick, but after she watched a bunch of movies that she was in, she was like, it seemed like she would be open to it. So
she fucking rules. Yeah.
I'm hoping she gave it a chance to watch it, but
do you want to be anxiety ridden for 2 hours or more anxiety ridden for 2 hours?
I'm gonna have to go with Room because that broke me emotionally. I cried a lot.
Uncut Gems is just like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah, it is just a roller coaster of a bunch of crazy shit constantly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's entertaining.
It is a Filmgazm favorite. We actually will be doing that movie pretty soon. It's Connor's number 8.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, right. So me, Adam, and Connor did these lists, and neither Adam and I had it, but Connor had it number 8. I was like, fuck yeah, because that means we get to do an episode on it. I love it to death. It's a like 5-star movie. I just don't know why I didn't include it on my list. There was a few that are really hard, like Moneyball. That's one of my favorites. That was hard to take off the list. Uncut Gems, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But luckily, Connor had Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and Uncut Gems, so I was like, we're good. We still get to do an episode on it, which is a good feeling. So yeah, we'll be doing Uncut Gems very soon. But yeah, Room is like, I mean, it's an experience. I saw that at the Bijou as well by myself.
By yourself?
In the same day, my dumbass. So my dad and Adam, they had both seen Room maybe a few days before, and they were like, Austin, like, go see this movie. And I was like, fuck, but we had already planned to go see Spotlight. So my dad was like, just go see both. Like, I'll pay for both of them, go see both. And I was like, fuck, that's gonna be a tough day. And it was. I saw back-to-back double feature, Room and Spotlight at the Bijou. I mean, like, talk about dark. I mean, Jesus Christ. At least there's a little bit of hope at the end of Room.
Right.
But in Spotlight, it's just like, oh my God, like, how much more have we missed? Such a rough movie. So I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that day, seeing both those movies. Because I was 20. I was really coming into my own as a movie fan and kind of figuring out what I liked. And it was cool that my dad and my brother also wanted to be on the same page. So
right.
Spotlight was the best picture winner that year. Great movie. We all had a good time, but it was not fun. It was a good experience to see a great movie, but not a fun one. So Room moves on. Uncut Gems is out. The last matchup of the first round, we have horror versus sci-fi. The Witch versus Ex Machina.
I'm going with The Witch.
Yeah. The Witch is one of your favorites. Yeah. So Ex Machina, you're not...
I like it.
Yeah.
I like all these movies that you have me trying to pick the one that I like the most out of, but I think you definitely showed me The Witch. I didn't just find it on my own. I'm pretty...
Probably.
Yeah. We kept talking about it because we talked about horror movies. That was like one of our first conversations.
Probably.
And I'm pretty sure you shot that out there at some point. And I was like, you kept talking about it. I have to see what it's about. And I watched it, and I mean, I love it so much that I'm probably like, I've already like started designing like a tattoo for like the ending scene where like that she's like discovered that she's like basically like a witch and she sees other ones out there. Yeah.
She rises. Yeah.
Yeah. That part.
So sick.
I was like, I love this movie. I've seen it a few times now. I'm like, that I need that part like on me.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not really up for debate. It's The Witch.
Yeah, I figured. I love it. I love both. It would actually be really hard for me. I might side with The Witch just barely, but that's so hard. Ex Machina is fucking lights out.
It is.
It's just like I don't know. Connor and I did an episode on it because it was up for screenplay or something. Visual effects, I can't remember. And we did an episode on it for Oscar Sunday, and we were just like, "Fuck, we forgot how good this movie was." That happened a lot, where you like rewatch something for an episode because you have to pay attention more because you're like giving out awards to it, and you're just ready to. You're like, I want to be ready to talk about it. And that was the first time where I was like, "Is this like perfect?" Like, but you can say the same about The Witch, especially if you're a horror fan. Like, man, is it brutal? I mean, it's got some actual scary moments in it, and that's kind of my favorite thing about Eggers. I didn't include The Lighthouse because I don't think you're as big of a fan
I
as
haven't gotten
Thumb.
into The Lighthouse just yet.
You never seen it?
I don't know what stopped me from watching it.
Shit.
I haven't felt the urgency to, but I mean, you started talking about Robert Eggers, the director, and then Patricia started talking about.
Yeah, that's right. We know somebody who's like worked with him. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like I might as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, you would like some of it for sure. I mean, it's fucking weird, but you also would laugh because you would understand Jeremy more.
Oh, he loves The Lighthouse?
It's nasty. Nasty obsession with the Lighthouse. He came on when we did it. We did that also for Oscar Sunday. And we did a top 5 Willem Dafoe performances because he's amazing in that movie. And we brought Jeremy on, and me and Connor were just laughing because Jeremy was just because he loves the lore of it, kind of like that nasty that time period, like sea monsters and shit. Jeremy's really into that stuff already. So and he's a huge Willem Dafoe fan. So yeah, that's right up his alley. And then of course what the fuck? His other movie, Eggers, the fucking Viking one. Why can't I think of the name?
Oh shoot!
Jesus Christ.
We saw that with
I feel like an idiot. I love that movie. Why can't I think of what it's called?
It's funny because I was recommending that to people nonstop, and I'm just like
the most masculine movie of all time.
Yeah,
that one's not A24. Why can't I think of the fucking name of it? I'm gonna see it and fucking punch myself in the face.
Northman.
Yeah, The Northman. Duh. Yeah. So Northman is not A24, but
No.
Lighthouse and The Witch are. And I can't wait to see what Eggers does next. I don't really fucking care what it is. I don't even need to see the trailer anymore. He's like 3 for 3.
You're clearly like
I love all his movies. Yeah. I'm obsessed. Like there's a huge debate. Before we move to the second round, let me hear your thoughts on this. There's a huge debate that's been going on between the 3 kind of like big time horror directors, Eggers, Ari Aster, and Jordan Peele. So you haven't seen Ari Aster's newest movie, which is got some horror in it, but it's not really a horror movie. Okay. But you got Jordan Peele, of course, with Get Out, Us, and Nope, and you got Eggers with The Witch, The Lighthouse, and The Northman, which are also like not The Witch is horror for sure, but the others are kind of like different. They're like playing with a lot of different genres. But there's always been this debate amongst like those genre filmmakers, like which one's got the best 3 movies so far.
Easy.
And I think it's like very clear that that's Eggers. I think Eggers, all 3 of them are like fucking perfect. Whereas like the best movie of all of them might be Hereditary, and it's Ari Aster's, but like Peele has Nope and Get Out. Like fuck. Us is okay. I'm not like a huge fan, but I mean, Get Out. It's like hard to argue with Get Out, and Nope is so good.
I'm typically not even like an alien sci-fi genre type of like person. Like it takes a lot for me to be willing to go see a movie like that. But when I saw the trailers, when we kept going back to back movies, and I got the hint that it was definitely about aliens. A part of me was like slightly like, oh, I don't know if I want to like this, but I kept seeing more and more of it, and I was like, all right, just got to go for it. And I'm sure I won't be disappointed. I wasn't. I mean, I once again immediately recommended it to my mom, and she watched it, and she couldn't stop gasping and like audibly making like comments, and I was just like, yeah, this is a good one. I told you this is a good one.
Yeah.
And
and you bought it right away.
I did.
And you don't do that.
No,
you very rarely buy movies on Blu-ray. And you bought it on Blu-ray like as quick as you possibly could, which was when I was like, okay, she loves this movie. I'm also it's one of my very favorite movies from last year for sure. Maybe my favorite. Like that, I loved Tar and After Sun. Those are probably like my three favorites. But Nope is like, I mean, it is a dream for a genre loving, film fan. I mean, Nope is it. It's scary, creepy, funny, weird, incredible acting.
The dynamic between Danielle
Korean,
and Kiki was just
yeah, Kiki Palmer. Fuck God damn it.
I'm so glad people are now getting on to just
Her
Kiki Palmer
the
is,
bandwagon. Yeah.
and it's like finally she's getting some recognition because she's great, and I think that's why I also loved it too because I grew up, watching her like
Yeah.
on Disney and Nickelodeon, and didn't really think anything was going to come of it from there. And now she's like this breakout star, and I think that Nope like helped.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So this.
Well, she like hosted SNL.
She did,
and she revealed she was pregnant
Mhm.
on SNL. So, we don't really even watch SNL that much, but we happened to watch that one.
Oh, I recorded it because I knew she was on.
I knew she was gonna be on. I mean, yeah, she is like, she's hard to explain.
She's so talented. She can sing, she can dance.
She's so singular. Like I've never seen anybody like her on the screen. I've never. The scene at the beginning of Nope when she like does that whole spiel and she like is trying to sell like what they're doing and like do the horse thing. Like, all right, like telling all the rules. I was like, what? Like, I really, really wish work like that got recognized by the Oscars. I really wish. Like, I've always thought she, during all of last year, I think Connor felt the same way too. It's kind of like, why didn't Keke Palmer get a nomination? Like, she doesn't need to win she doesn't need to win, but like she should be in that group.
Yeah.
So should Viola Davis though from fucking Woman King. So that's a whole nother can of worms.
And I believe she should have. And even if like you don't win, just like a nomination almost kind of like a nod, like we see
it's recognition. Yeah,
what you've done. It'd have been nice, but the
real ones know.
Right.
The real ones know that she's the champ. So, all right, I love a little Jordan Peele talk in the middle of he doesn't even have any A24 movies. That's okay. That is quite all right. Maybe you could come on for our Get Out episode. That was Adam's number 2.
Really?
So it's like way down. Oh, it'll be like a few months from now. But
okay. I still remember where I saw it at and who I saw it with.
Yeah, that'd be cool if we could bring you back on. Yeah, what a great movie. And we did that on Oscar Sunday as well. Me, Connor, and Caleb. So it'd be cool to get different voices on that one. All right, we're in the second round. So now you've kind of stated like what you like about all these movies.
It's just gonna get hard.
Now you can just kind of pick. So the first matchup: Moonlight versus Room.
Moonlight.
Yeah, Moonlight. Come on. Sorry, Room. At least Room got to beat Uncut Gems, Yeah. Let's see. The Farewell versus Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Everything Everywhere.
Oh man. That's
I'm trying.
It's two like movies about like women from different like generations of women like figuring shit out.
I know.
It's such a good. They're both so good.
It's just the fact that it's gonna get hard. I'm just gonna have to just go for it. I don't want to think about it too much.
And not only is it women, it's Chinese women too, which is cool. Waves versus Florida Project.
Waves.
Florida versus Florida. Waves. Waves moves on. The Witch versus Midsummer.
Damn.
Horror versus horror.
The Witch.
Yeah. The Witch. I can tell. We haven't seen this in a while. We should watch it soon.
Do we have it?
Oh yeah. I definitely own it, but I think it's on. It's got to be on something. It's one of those. Feels like it should be accessible type movies.
I think I might just make it an A24 day tomorrow since you're at work.
Well, I've watched
The Lighthouse.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you noticed, but when you've gone to bed,
the
past week, I've watched Disaster Artist, Mid-90s, Lady Bird, Under the Silver Lake, and Waves.
Yeah, I think
just like I was just rewatching ones that I feel like it's been a minute.
It's always good to do that. I feel like I need to do it with Lady Bird.
Like Disaster Artist, I hadn't seen all the way through since theaters.
I feel like I haven't seen it since we worked at Draft House, which is
so that came out. Time. That came out while we were working.
Yeah.
I saw it in theaters, but I liked it. But it's not, I'm not crazy about it. I think it missed a huge opportunity. I think it could have been amazing had it been directed by someone other than James Franco. Franco directing himself, just like no, like I don't think he's like talented enough I like him, but I don't think he's talented enough to do that. But like, I forgot how funny some of the people like Zac Efron's in
Yeah.
it. I forgot how funny he is in it because he's like he like in character at all times,
Hmm.
and he's in the movie. So like it's Zac Efron playing a guy. And he's like fuck, like he's like hitting his head. I've always loved Zac Efron. I don't know what it is, but he cracked me up when I was watching it the other night. I kind of forgot he was in it. And Seth Rogen, all these different people,
Yeah.
Nathan Fielder. These guys are hilarious. Josh Hutcherson. It's like, what the hell? It's such a crazy
I
cast.
definitely need to give that one a rewatch as well.
Yeah, it's fun. It's not a great movie to me, but it's a fun ride.
It's always good to just watch one that just doesn't really have a point. It's just fun.
Yeah.
It's nice to watch.
Whereas, like, I watched Under the Silver Lake, and I was like pausing it every 5 minutes, like, oh, what does that mean?
Yeah.
You know?
Sometimes it's good just not to overthink everything that's being shown to you, or to feel like so many hard emotions. Like that's just a good movie just to sit and
Correct.
have
I like both. Yeah, I like analyzing the shit out of something, and I also love just let it happen.
Yeah.
Okay, final four here.
It's gonna get.
This feels right. You love these four movies.
Yes, I do.
Moonlight versus Everything Ever All at Once. The two best picture winners from A24 matching up against each other. I didn't even do that on purpose. That's great. That's just the way you voted.
Oh, I'm setting myself up though. It's gonna have to be Moonlight.
Yeah. Come on. Moonlight shredding through the competition as it should. Yeah. These are both amazing movies, but I think you and I have always, like you said, it's hard to explain, it's hard to articulate. There's something about Moonlight that just kind of punches you in the face, and I like it. I welcome it.
Yeah. I mean, I think we successfully got my mom to watch that one.
Yeah, I remember. I just like put it in her room.
Yeah.
I was like, just watch it. Like,
just take some time.
Just trust me. Like
it was in there for a while, and she finally watched it. And she really liked it.
Yeah, because your mom knows her shit, but she's a huge TV fan.
More than she has movies.
More than she has movies. She's like more willing to like give a show a chance rather than like a movie. But
yeah,
I've never met anyone who's watched Moonlight and been like, yeah, no, I'm good. Like I was bored, or I was like, no, it wasn't very good. Everyone recognizes that it's a feat. It's a like historic artistic feat. One of the coolest things that Connor and I got to do together while we were in LA, and then I got to do with you, was look at the Oscar that was given to Moonlight for screenplay. Like, fuck, that's so sick.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. I mean, Connor and I, obviously, we were going to go to that no matter what. Even if it was an Oscar, like, stroke fest, we were going to go see that no matter what, because we were like, oh, we want to see the Academy Museum. We literally do a podcast called Oscar Sunday.
Oh, when you guys went, I knew this is exactly where you were going to go. At some point, you were going to make it.
Yeah, we bought tickets for it. Like, Connor bought the tickets so far in advance. But when we got there, we were like, oh, this is just a movie museum. Like, Oscars are definitely a part of it. But a lot of the rooms and the different exhibits are like, it's just movies.
How different was it with Connor versus me? Because I know we went during Black History Month.
So yes, that was really, really cool. So the part that I wish I could combine both of them, because when Connor and I went, one of the first rooms you walk into, it was a Spike Lee room. And when you and I went, it was Agnes Varda. I love Agnes Varda, but she's not Spike Lee. I know she's incredible. And like, I know there's a lot of cinephiles out there that are like, oh my God, she's like one of the GOATs. Like, she's one of the best filmmakers. I've just only seen like 4 of her movies. So I'm not as familiar with her work as I am. I've seen like everything Spike Lee's done.
Yeah.
And so walking into that Spike Lee room, Connor and I were like, wow, like this is the music that was playing, the posters on the wall, the autographs that people had sent him, like Scorsese was like, hey, Spike, like, keep doing your thing. Fucking Kobe and Michael Jordan, like all these different people that were like, that like are obsessed with his work because he's one of the American filmmakers, and he happens to be Black, and puts that into his work. It was really cool. But then when you and I went, it was literally, there was a whole ass fucking floor full of history dedicated to Black cinema. And that was fucking cool. Like really the wall of all the people, like the wall of fame for like black actors and filmmakers, was like the coolest shit ever. So I wish I could kind of combine
both those experiences.
But also when we went, there was the whole Godfather exhibit, and Connor didn't get to see that. So I was like, fuck, I wish Connor would get to see this fucking Godfather room. But not maybe like a month later, Jeremy, my brother, went with his girlfriend Alex, and
I
they
just saw
saw.
that.
Yeah, they went to LA in April.
Okay.
So they saw the Godfather room, and Jeremy was like, "You weren't kidding. This is a movie museum. It's not just
Yeah.
Oscar stuff." And there was that wall that we saw with like all the quotes about like what cinema is and what it means, and
To
it was
different people.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
like gave me chills. Like, really cool. So yeah, it's amazing. I highly suggest if you ever get to go to LA and you like movies as much as we do, like carve out some time to go to that because
It's an experience.
it's very cool. Yeah, it's not just like a oh here's a bunch of Oscar shit. It's like here's a bunch of movie shit, historical shit. We also got lucky because that day outside there was
Oh,
a
yeah.
there was like a festival. So
That was great too.
we just got lucky.
Great timing.
We just got lucky. Yeah, we had no idea that was happening. When we got there, I was like, "Fuck, it's packed." When Connor and I went, there was like not very many people there.
Yeah.
It was in December, and a little chilly, a little rainy, I believe, that day. And Connor and I were just like, "Oh, this is really cool," but like, we're like, how are there not more people? When we went, there was like a whole fucking thing outside. It was packed. There was great food everywhere. Good
Great
shit.
food,
Good
DJ.
shit. So much fun. I love LA. Other side of the bracket here, Waves versus The Witch. The movie we're talking about today versus maybe A24's best horror movie. Maybe.
I'm gonna go with Waves.
Waves. So Waves versus Moonlight, the final. What?
Oh, I'm not done.
This is it. This is the last matchup. Moonlight versus Waves for the A24 championship. Florida versus Florida. Tough versus tough. Sterling K. Brown versus Naomi Harris. What are you gonna do? Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna do Waves.
Wow. Okay. Waves takes it, which is so fitting because here we are. This is the movie that we chose to do today. So that's really cool. That was fun. I hope our listeners got to know you better, just like with your taste and whatnot, through these movies, because some good fucking movies on this list, right? And Moonlight and Waves are both awesome. But so Waves, I would have figured you'd pick Moonlight. So what is it about Waves that?
I think the second half of Waves, for some reason, I feel like it reminds me of how you and I first started off and how we've like grown over time. I think that's why nothing's gonna like trump it for me.
Okay, yeah. So I've been waiting all day because I was off work today, and you got off at like 11 a.m. and we're recording this now. It's now midnight, so we had like all day together, right?
Right.
We went and hung out with some friends, made some food and whatnot, and just kind of chilled. But all day I was like, I don't want to say that part because I want to save it for the podcast. But there's so many reasons that Lucas Hedges' character Luke and Taylor Russell's character Emily remind me of you and I. And of course, there's the obvious: I'm white, you're black, and so are they in the movie. That's not really. That just kind of happens to be the case. It doesn't really get brought up in the movie, and which I actually really appreciate. That it's just organic. It's just organic, and it just happens. Not every movie has to talk about race,
No.
It's not every movie's job to do that, I guess.
It wouldn't have been fitting for them to discuss it anyway in this movie. I don't think it would have.
Neither do I. Like the movie is very clearly split up into hour one and hour two. And hour two is Emily's story, and Emily's family dealing with the crazy event that happens in the middle of the movie. But there's also something about these two characters, like Taylor Russell does such a good job of being kind of quiet in the right moments, but when she wants to say something, she wants to say something, and you're like that. And Lucas Hedges just kind of talks, and I do that too a lot, just kind of like saying stuff, and so I've always felt an eerie connection to them too.
It's
because of you and
weird.
I.
Yeah. I kind of felt it, but didn't really think too deeply into it until I was bored that one day, and I was doing that stupid trend, and I was like, "What movie reminds you of me?" And you said Waves, and that scene that I picked out, I was like, "That's a little weird." Yeah. Like it was the moment kind of like hit me. I was like, "There's a lot of similarities."
Yeah.
That I didn't notice before, and now it's just every time I watch it now, I'm just like, "That's where my brain goes."
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I really like the first half of the movie, but like my heart is with the second
Mm-hmm.
half. The first half is like so fucking chaotic, it's so rowdy, and just attack on all senses. And the second half is very like just kind of like it's like a wave, just kind of
Mm-hmm.
like just washes over you. And I love the second half so much. I also think Taylor Russell is just something to behold. Of course, I
Yes.
already spoke about Lucas Hedges, but she when she kind of takes the mantle from Kelvin Harrison Jr. in the middle of the movie,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh man, she's good. She's really. This is the first thing I really saw her in,
This is the first I've seen her.
so I was just like, fuck, who is that? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel the same way. So Moonlight, I like Moonlight more because I feel when I'm watching it, I feel like I'm watching history. I feel like I'm watching
Oh yeah.
something so important, and not just like important in that way, but I also just love the filmmaking in Moonlight. It goes from like handheld verite style, like tracking shot of the little boy, little Chiron running, and it's like all chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like a Jason Bourne movie.
Mm-hmm.
To like wide, beautiful shots of Mahershala Ali teaching him how to swim and doing all this stuff, and so it's like it's got like a really good control about it, and the close ups of people's faces in Moonlight is like, man, you just like the slow motion close ups of Naomi Harris and Mahershala Ali and Janelle Monáe are just like fuck. Andre Holland, all these different actors that are just Trevante Rhodes, like these people are just unbelievable. But I do understand like Waves has that kind of personal touch to it.
Yeah, I mean, but I mean, just because I picked Wave doesn't mean I don't.
Yeah,
I don't love
you definitely
Moonlight.
love
I
Moonlight.
love
Yeah,
Moonlight. It's just when we put those two together,
it's tough.
I gotta pick Waves.
It's tough. It's tough. So yeah, Waves. Let's talk more about it. Edward Schultz directed, written, and directed. Famously became good friends with Kelvin Harrison Jr., who plays Tyler, kind of the main character of the movie, one of the main characters. Also, Kelvin Harrison starred in It Comes at Night. That's where they kind of met, became good buddies, and they wanted to kind of co write a movie together. So Kelvin Harrison, a lot of like the ideas that are in Waves are from him. A lot of the ideas for his character Tyler are definitely from him, and are kind of like natural, kind of an organic way of writing a character. So it says in IMDb and Letterboxd and everywhere that Trey Edward Schultz is like the lone writer, but it's very well known that Kelvin helped him a lot, especially with the black side of things, because
Yeah.
this movie has a few moments of Sterling K. Brown, the father, like talking to him like about the black experience, not for like a long time, but there's brief, it's brief moments. It acknowledges it.
Mm-hmm.
It acknowledges that this family of four is black without being like on the nose, I guess. So like Kelvin Harrison is definitely kind of someone you want to, pat him on the back for that because I think it was done really well personally. So that's kind of where the movie came from was those two guys. Edward Schultz went through a really tough time with his dad. His dad was kind of non-existent in his life for a while, for 8 to 9 years, and then when he was dying of pancreatic cancer, Trey was like, "Oh, I need to like fucking say bye." So that's where we get kind of the end scene between Lucas Hedges and his dad in Waves. It kind of stems from Edward Schultz's real life, so you can feel the personal stuff in this movie.
Yeah.
And you can feel the personal stuff in all three of Edward Schultz's movies: Krisha, It Comes at Night, and Waves. So I'm excited to see what he does next. But for now, Waves is definitely my favorite of the three. Its scores are pretty good. 7.5 on IMDb for Waves, 84% on Rotten Tomatoes, pretty good, and a 3.8 on Letterboxd. So it's very divisive. You got a lot of like 4.5, 5-star people who are like, Waves is amazing. And you have a lot of like half star, 1 star, 1.5 star, like people just trashing the shit out of it. Which is good to me. It's good to be divisive. Like I said earlier in the show, you want people to talk about your product, and people definitely do. Not a lot of people saw it in theaters. It just about broke even. Had a $2 million budget and made a little under 2 million at the box office. So it didn't make a ton of money, but I feel like now it kind of has a cult status.
Yes.
Where the people who love it really, really love it, and that's good enough for me. Let's see. I want to bring you into these awards, Brianna. This is your first time doing this, doing awards for a movie, right?
Yes.
Because the episodes you've been on, you did an episode with us on, let's see, Luca. Yeah. Remember we did Luca and we did top 5 Pixar. Mm-hmm. You and Connor had that crazy moment where y'all both were like, "Oh, you love Coco too," and then you did something else with us. Just can't fucking remember what it is. Was it that Billie Holiday movie?
It might, yes.
That you and I didn't really like that much.
Yeah.
We thought it was okay. Because music biopic and music biopics are.
Was it like United States versus Billie Holiday?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I think it was that.
I'm pretty.
That was a long time ago. It's like 3 years ago.
Jeez.
So yeah, we it's hard. It's hard for we have a 4-year-old daughter, so it's pretty hard. Like usually I'll record late at night when she's in bed, and
or I'm out there making sure she doesn't.
Exactly, you're making sure she doesn't fucking come knocking on the door, fucking like a battering ram. Get she loud as shit, but yeah, it is great to have you on, especially just me and you, because we can, we have this literal like lived-in experience of watching movies together where we live together and seeing a bunch of movies in theaters together. So, I know Waves is like such a special occasion because it's a movie we both adore. So it's my number 9 on my top 10 list, and we're definitely getting awards out to it right now. So I told you, gather your thoughts. The Quentin Tarantino Award for the best quote of the movie, or your favorite. It's not really best. It's whatever you connect with.
Oh, okay.
Favorite quote. The Thomas Newman Award for your favorite music moment. So that could be a part of the score. Which this score in this movie, when it's like dun dun, just the piano, haunting. But also the soundtrack is fucking loaded. So it's really tough to choose. And then we have the Philip Seymour Hoffman Award for your favorite performance of the movie. Very tough. There's like literally 5 people that you could give it to, and you have an argument. And then the John Carpenter Award for the best or favorite scene of the movie. So I'll let you start with your favorite quote. Okay. What did you go with for your Tarantino?
I went with Sterling K. Brown's quote when he is talking to Tyler, kind of like when he notices a shift in his behavior. And kind of has to...
In the office?
Yeah, has to bring him back to reality a little bit, or tries to at least. But he says, the world don't give a shit about you or me. We are not afforded the luxury of being average. We have to work 10 times as hard just to get anywhere. And I also added a little bit afterwards where he says, I don't push you because I want to, I push you because I have to. And I like that quote because it does acknowledge that he's trying to build a different life for his children that he wasn't given the opportunity to have. And he does acknowledge that when he's talking to him in this scene as well. And I think what he says is really, I think it's powerful because Tyler, he is going through something that is very, it's earth-shattering for like what, a 17, 18-year-old, but it's also great that he did point out that, he has to work and be better than like his counterparts because it's a different world for people like him than it is for, other people that he might be like like involved with at school or like in his friend group or like other like maybe white students, stuff like that. He has to try harder. And it seems like in this part of the movie, he's kind of just like having a pity party and not trying to put forth the effort that he once was in the beginning because of just, it feels like his life is being turned upside down. And I like that I don't push you because I want to, I push you because I have to, because in a later part of the movie where him and his wife are arguing, she's just constantly just going at him saying, you pushed him. And he's not really, it seemed like he didn't really notice that or understand that until she kind of like shouted at him. And it made me think of that part in the movie where he's like, I don't push you because I want to, I push you because I have to. And in that moment, it's understandable why he said what he said, but I feel like he also should have, maybe been a little more open to seeing what exactly was brewing with Tyler and why he was behaving the way he was, instead of kind of just coming at him so hard and so forceful.
Fuck yeah.
I just feel like it was almost like a little hint of foreshadowing for
Oh,
me.
for sure. Yeah, I think it's a huge scene. It's very necessary because it acknowledges kind of like the elephant in the room
Mhm.
while also just being like a really good father son scene. And Sterling K. Brown, like, fuck. There's a couple times in that where like when he does this,
Yes,
he like puts his
his
cheek
elbow, yeah, on
on
his
his
desk.
fist and he's like, so what's up? you know,
You can
just
tell
the
he's just like fed up, but he's like,
when he calls him bruh at one
mhm,
point, you're like, oh god,
he's
like,
pissed.
and like slaps him and is like,
Hmm.
get rid of that attitude, and says like,
You can see what type of
he's
parent
like,
he
you're not
is.
gonna be able to run around with that little girl of yours, like
Hmm.
he's kind of belittling him,
Yeah,
but also doing what he thinks he's supposed to do.
doing what he thinks is
It's
right.
man, it's a brutal scene, but it's so necessary.
It feels a little familiar because I grew up with my brother, and he kind of had those rough moments like that a little bit. Was just like you know being so I guess taken over by his own emotions that he's just not. He has his blinders on. He doesn't see what
Yeah,
everybody else is going through, and I've had to witness like a lot of people in our family to sit down and kind of talk to him the way that Sterling talked to Tyler in that scene, and I think it just felt really familiar in a way too. And I think that's why I liked that quote so much.
yeah. My little brother Isaiah relates to Tyler
Mhm.
on like a pretty deep level. Where like my little brother, he like does not watch a lot of movies. He watches a lot of like documentaries. He's like a big history nerd, which is so weird. Like if you first met him, you'd be like, no
You
way.
wouldn't guess that.
But he is like he has this weird knowledge of certain parts of history, world history. So he watches a lot of like real. He likes docs because it's real footage and whatnot. So he's not really big into like fiction stuff. But I remember I told him, I was like, I just feel like you like waves, dude. And he watched it and he was like, fuck. Like I've never felt like heard or seen the way this movie does. The way this movie tackles the pressure of an athlete,
Hmm.
the pressure of like making the right grades so that you get into the right college. Because he was like a huge track star. So Isaiah related to Tyler being like a big wrestling guy who's like supposed to go to college for it. So he just related a lot to those scenes of the pressure that builds on when you're 16, 17, 18 years old to do all this when you're like, I don't even know
Yeah,
who I am.
Yeah, I couldn't figure myself out yet.
So yeah, it's big stuff. So yeah, this movie has a few scenes where you can kind of put life on the table and talk about so many different things. And I feel like that scene in the office in this really cool house that they have that he's like proud that who would keep this all running. He kind of belittles his wife too.
Yeah,
He's
he
he's
does.
like she's good with the patients, but like I know how to run a business.
Hmm.
Like Sterling K. Brown, like is in that
I
moment is
think in
like
that,
super dominant. Like
yeah, I think he took his behavior very personal, and so
yeah,
that's why his reaction felt very like I'm the top dog, and
yeah, what's
yeah,
up? Yeah,
yeah.
which also is great in that scene when they're in the diner and they like arm wrestle,
Hmm.
and he's like, "Did you start?" Like Sterling K is so fucking good at playing like a dad. I can't get enough of him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he's
really do.
great.
I love him in this movie. I love him in general, but
Me
I'm
too.
happy to see him in this movie.
Yeah, I really, really like him. Yeah, I have like nothing bad to say about Sterling K. Um, I kind of knew you'd pick a serious one, so
Yeah, just kind of balance it out.
I chose kind of a funny one because a lot of my other awards are kind of serious,
Hmm.
especially the my favorite scene. But there's a quote from Lucas Hedges that I think is so funny, and again is one of the moments that very much reminds me of you and I. It's when they're kind of like on this bridge thing, and there's a
Hmm.
manatee swimming, and Lucas Hedges, his character's name is Luke. He says, "Holy shit! Did you see that? That's a fucking manatee. I fucking love manatees. I fucking love them." And he's like, "It's like if an elephant and a rhino like made love."
Had a baby in the
Yeah,
water.
had a baby in the water, and then Emily's like, "Yeah, but like, have you ever like watched them? They're kind of like a sloth."
They're kind of slow like this. He's like, oh, like he stumped for a second.
Yeah, it's such a innocent, funny moment between two people who are kind of falling for each other,
Hmm.
and the walls have kind of come down, and the funny side has definitely come out, the like natural side, and in that moment is when they kind of take a big step to me in their relationship, in that moment with the manatees, he's like, we can swim with manatees. And she's like, what? And he's like, yeah, like I can drive us. It's summer. We're out of school. Like I can drive us up
Oh yeah.
to go swim with manatees. And it's like such a sweet moment of like, are you down? And she's like clearly never been asked by a boy to go do something like this. And he's probably never asked a girl, you know, it's vice versa. So it's like,
it's the first for both.
It's the first. Yeah, there's a lot of first moments for them. It's very clear that they're both virgins when they have sex.
Yeah.
And fucking SZA's playing, like Jesus Christ. Such a cool needle drop. Like it's so clear that so many of their moments together are like, this is our first time experiencing this, and it's together. And no matter if we're together forever or not, we're not going to forget it.
Right.
And that's so sweet. Like that, like tender love is like, oh man, it's so good. So I had to go with that because he cracks me up in this movie. Just that the first time he comes out and he's like, you can tell he's nervous to like walk up to her and he's like, nice. He's like, well, you want to go eat? You know,
stumbling over his words, saying the wrong words, and
walking the wrong way. Yeah.
I just like how also like as he gets more and more comfortable with her, he kind of just says whatever's popping into his brain, and it'll be like the most random.
Yeah, when she's like, oh, everybody sings in the shower, and he's like, yeah, I sing Vampire Week in the shower. Shit don't sound right. It's like very relatable, but also it's just sweet. Just a sweet performance from Lucas Hedges. Like that guy's awesome. So had to go with that. It cracks me up every time. I love that stretch of the movie.
Yes.
When they start falling in love, and it's like, oh man, like this is so cool. I'm rooting for them, you know. Next up is the Thomas Newman Award for Best Favorite Music Moment. Good luck.
Okay, well, I picked Pretty Little Birds by SZA and Isaiah Rashad.
There you go.
I like this music choice because I'm a fan of SZA, obviously.
And Isaiah Rashad.
Yes.
This guy fucking rules,
yes, yeah. Obviously. But I also I feel like it was a good, if not perfect choice for the scene in itself. It's like right after they got done running through the sprinklers, like
on ecstasy.
On ecstasy.
Yeah.
Like at that, it was like a golf course or like a park or something.
Such a cool moment.
Yeah. And I don't know if Emily was still high in the scene or she was coming down from it, but like obviously they had like a great experience that day and they were ending it off with that. And the music for Pretty Little Bird starts as soon as like they're kind of like driving and it's like a nice shot of like the night sky. And then she kind of just sticks her head out the window and she's kind of just like letting the air hit her face. And it just seems like in that moment is like the first time since the incident with her brother that like she has like a sense of like calmness that I've noticed in the movie.
Yeah.
And it felt right. It felt nice. And it makes me like that song more because when I hear it now, I'm just thinking I feel calmness because it's like that's probably what Emily was experiencing in that scene.
Yeah, like finding your peace is so important.
And finding it with someone that she's falling with was also pretty cool too.
Yeah, it's very cool that he's kind of a source of not just joy, but a source of peace and calmness and a source of like also her challenging herself. Like when she jumps off that tree.
Yeah.
She's like, everybody's like, come on, jump, like do it. And he's right there. He's like, come on, I'll be right here. Like he's clearly okay with doing these things. And she's like, I'm not used to like doing this kind of stuff.
But he's like willing to just stand with her and like kind of help her get out of her shell because she is a very like quiet, shy kid. And you can tell he's kind of in between. Yeah,
he's like a little nerdy, but also he's on the wrestling team. He's also kind of has like a little jock to him. He dresses kind of cool, but also like his own style.
Yeah.
He's just a unique guy. Which is like, there's no high schooler as cool as Luke and Emily. You know, I was a fucking idiot in high school, so I definitely wasn't fucking taking girls to go swim with manatees. You know, no way. I wasn't that badass. That's great. I kind of figured you might choose that because this is your girl. She's great, and that album, Control. Yeah, it's never gonna be beat. What's the new one called? SOS?
She might have beat herself with SOS.
It's all right. I like it, but Control to me is like no skips, like perfect album, and also has like the coolest features on it.
It does.
Like Isaiah Rashad. He's the man. I was Diana Washington.
Really?
What a difference a day made. It's my favorite needle drop from this movie because it happens twice.
It does.
It happens once on the way home from church with Catherine, the mother. and Tyler. Speaking of Catherine, Renee Elise Goldsberry, lights out in this movie as the mom.
She was great.
She's incredible and like gets better and better as the movie goes along. And that scene that you alluded to earlier, when she finally screams at him,
finally snaps.
Is like, I was like, fuck, she's good. It was kind of like, why haven't I seen her in more movies? But she's a stage actor. She was like a part of that big Hamilton wave.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, so she can like sing and do all that shit too.
Oh.
Very talented apparently. So there's a scene where it's brief. Catherine and Tyler are driving back from the diner, from church, from the diner, back home, and they're quiet, and he's smiling at her, and she's smiling at him, and this song by Dinah Washington comes on, What a Difference a Day Made, and she sings with it, and it's like, oh man, it's a really sweet moment between mother and son, and like it makes the next few moments of the movie like even more gut wrenching because the way he talks to her, it's like when he gets drunk and leaves the house and is screaming at her, it makes this scene like even more powerful.
Yeah.
And then it plays again in the diner that we've seen before between Emily and Luke, and Emily says, "Oh, I love this song," and Luke's like, "Oh, I've never heard it," which is like, of course, he hasn't heard this Dinah Washington song, and she says, "Well, like my grandma loved it. My grandma used to play it all the time, so like that's why I like it." And so it's very clear that it got passed down from grandma to mom to granddaughter, right?
Yeah.
It's like this generational thing. It's also just a great song. It's really out of place compared to all the other. The rest of the music's like pretty popular, like SZA, Tame Impala, Kendrick Lamar, A$AP Rocky, like big time, awesome, like cool artists. And then there's this kind of like ode to old school music, Dinah Washington, and she's got a great voice. So I've just always loved that. I love how kind of like out of place it is, but also it fits perfectly with like the scenes that it's in, and kind of a connector between whoever Catherine's mom was probably and now Emily, you know. So I love that. Love that it kind of connects those. And it's the first time Luke hears the song, he's not going to forget it. The Philip Seymour Hoffman Award, favorite performance of the movie. I mean, you could give this to Taylor Russell. You could give it to Kelvin Harrison Jr. You could give it to Luke Sedges. You could give it to either of the parents, Renee or Sterling. All five of those to me are up for grabs. Is anyone else? Would you throw Alexa Demi in that or no?
I would, but because I'm pretty sure there's someone out there who watches the movie who might relate to her and think that she's doing a fantastic job. And I'm not faulting that at all. I like her performance. I like that we get to see her in this film, but I do think there were some other performances that kind of like stood out a bit more.
Yeah.
And I was stuck between Sterling K. Brown and Taylor a little bit because she's great, but I feel like Sterling might be the one.
Yeah.
And just, I mean, he goes through so many different emotions in the movie, and just seeing how he executed it.
He does the most.
Because you can put anybody in that, but they're not going to do it the way he did it. Like,
no.
I mean, I think my favorite scene with him has to be when I think he kind of takes his wife Catherine's advice or at least the acknowledgement that he's not really paying attention to Taylor or Emily like he was with Tyler, and now he wasn't so like hands-on with her as he was with him. And he takes her and they go out and they have that conversation where he's kind of just like unloading like all this grief and trauma onto her. And it's kind of like it's not really catching her off guard, but it's almost like she's stunned that it's happening. And he almost gets so flustered that he's just laying it all out there like that to his daughter, that he apologizes like almost profusely. And she's just like encouraging him. She's like, no, like, I'm glad you shared this with me. I love that you shared this with me. Like, she's kind of establishing that, like, you're in a safe space with me by saying this. And when he says, like, he apologizes because he has no one else to really talk about this with, it kind of like broke your heart a little bit. Because, like, he probably does feel, like, incredibly guilty that he is, like, saying all this heavy stuff that, like, most parents, I feel like, want to keep their child in the dark about because, like, you don't want your kid to worry about you because you're supposed to be like the example.
Correct.
And so it was just really nice to see like the raw emotions of the characters in that scene, but also to see how well it was executed with both Taylor and Sterling. And I think that's why I was stuck between the both of them because they both, showed a lot of emotion in that scene. it gets you if you just if you let it get you.
Yeah. Yeah. To me, it definitely comes down to them two, but Sterling ultimately takes it because of like what you said. He just does the most. He from the beginning to the end. I mean, like when he challenges Tyler and like takes him to the garage and they keep wrestling after he's already been through a wrestling match, and he's like, oh, if you would have done this or this, like you could have pinned him 20 seconds faster.
Right.
He's like, is your shoulder okay? And he starts massaging. And he's like, all right, let's go again. Just this like freak, like dominant freak of nature force. And then all the way to the end of the movie, when he finally does, like you said, like kind of lighten up, he realizes that like he has to meet his daughter where she's at, or she's not going to respond. So that's why also, I'll go ahead and say it, my favorite scene in the movie is the fishing scene that you just talked about between them two. I mean, it just shreds me to pieces. Like the father-daughter thing is obviously something I like. I look down the tunnel of life and I'm like, there's going to be moments where Willow is going to need me. Like she's going to need me and I'm going to have to know what to say or what to do or how to act or to just be there, you know? You always have to like be willing to adapt and like meet them where they're at. And like I hope I'm ready for those moments, you know. And he clearly was like whatever pushed him, whether it was Catherine or himself, like he was there for her and like in the right way. So the stuff that's said between them two, when she starts heating up during the fishing scene, she says, Emily says, I hate him so much. I hate him so much. What he did was evil, Dad. He's evil. He's a monster. And the dad's like, I understand that you're angry. And she said, how does someone do that? He's a monster for doing that to her. And then Ronald, the dad, Sterling K. Brown, this is, I wanted to choose this for my favorite quote, but I was like, but it's my favorite scene. So I wanted to save it. He says, you have every right to be. You hear me? But your brother, he's not a monster. He's not evil. He's just a human being. I know the pain you're feeling right now. Believe me, I know it. I think about your brother every day. The things that I could have done better, could have done different, but we can't change it, you know? All we have is now. All we have is now, and I'm telling you this because I love you. Holding on to that much hate can destroy a person, and I'm not going to allow that to happen to you. You have so much love to share with the world and so much life to live. Oh, she's like, fuck. You know, just rattles you just like to your core. If you're willing to watch this movie and put your walls down
And just
and to let it just fucking like take you like a wave, like it says in the title. It will. By this moment in the movie, you're exhausted. By the halfway point, you're fucking exhausted. Like the whole Tyler storyline, from leading up to the Alexa Demi, her character Alexis's death, you're like, fuck me. Like I am done. Like I have no more emotion to give to a movie, you know?
Right.
And but if you're like us, you kind of like you want it. Like you want to be moved like that. You want to be challenged and stirred up like that. So that's definitely like why we connect on this movie so much is we're like, bring it on. We want a movie to sometimes make us laugh, but also we want to be like so moved by art that we want to talk about it like this.
Yeah, I've always went back and forth with this scene as well because the more and more I watch it, the more you know how it goes. You pick up on things that you normally didn't see before. And as I was watching this time around, I noticed. I mean, it's an obvious thing, but I've noticed it more and more. Just like how it seemed like he had all his focus in on his son. That he kind of let. I mean, he didn't let Emily like fall through the cracks necessarily because she had a good head on her shoulders and she, I guess, could handle her own. Not to say that she didn't need like a father figure.
Yeah,
that's probably a little bit as to why it happened. But he had all this time and energy on him, and it's like even in this scene where like his daughter is just like being so raw and talking about how much she's like disgusted with her brother and the decisions that he's made and where he is like where it's gotten him. It feels like almost like he's still
defending him. Yeah,
and it's just like you can't.
That's my boy. Yeah,
it's like it's what he says is great, but I wish also in a way that it was acknowledged that she could feel those things and let that ride out because it won't last forever.
No,
I don't think it will. I mean, who's to say? I don't know, but like,
I mean, but she like, yeah. I mean, we haven't really talked much about the first half of the movie.
She was
other than
she was an eyewitness. So, like,
exactly.
yeah.
So she literally could have stopped it. That's part of like her. That's not her job.
No.
Obviously, he's a fucking idiot for doing what he did. But like she literally saw him there and was like, "What the fuck is he doing? He's grounded.
Yeah.
He doesn't look right. He's got a weird look in his eye, and he's following her to the garage."
Yeah, it's. I also felt really bad that she said that she could have stopped because it was clear that she was just trying to have like a good time.
Yeah, like a normal night out.
She's obviously like a very like shy, introverted kid, and the social scene doesn't seem like something that she really dove into. Even like,
and this party looks nuts.
And it's I mean, it's like some school ball, and then it goes.
It's like some Euphoria shit. Yeah,
exactly. And so it's clear that when she sees him at the party, she's like under the influence of something. She's either drunk or she's high or she's both.
Yeah.
And
fucking Kid Cudi's playing.
Yeah, and just in that moment, she sees him. She says she gets a bad feeling in her stomach, but like just to be in that element where like you're having a great time and then you see something that's like so haunting and you're also just not all the way there and you see it happening, you see it play out, and you start to put like two and two together and the wheels start turning and you realize what could happen, what could potentially transpire, but like you don't do anything about it. It's like it's not her job to do anything about it, and I feel like that's one reason why she did it. And it sucks that she held so much guilt for it because no one planned for that. There was no way to like be prepared for what he was about to do, and the fact that like she had that gut feeling that something bad was going to happen, and then moments later, the girl opens the garage and she's screaming, and she rushes through to see, and she sees Alexa's character on the ground, and immediately the connection's probably made. And not soon after, the dad pulls up and he sees the sirens, he sees the scene playing out, he sees his daughter, and she's too stunned to speak for multiple reasons, for what she just witnessed and what she knows just happened, but also because she's not all the way there. And so for him to be there to witness her emotions firsthand, so raw, and then to also like in that scene in itself kind of like still defend him, it was a little, I'm not going to say tough because I feel like that might be too dramatic, but like it felt like a little rough, you know? Like, like in that moment, you still can't even like get acknowledgement that, I mean, yes, he did something traumatic. Yes, a family lost a member. Also, like, she was her friend, and that's her brother. Like, she's feeling a lot of emotion. She's caught in the middle. I mean, you can tell, like, in the court scene, she wanted to look over at them and like almost like see how they were doing, but like
the parents,
the minute that they made the eye contact, she quickly looked away and looked down, almost like she was ashamed, because she probably was.
Yeah.
It's a lot of emotions for like what she's
17.
17,
16 or 17. Yeah. Because she's a junior.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, 16, 17. That sounds about right. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot for
brutal.
Such like a quiet kid
for anyone at that party.
Yeah.
The sister of the guy who did it.
I mean, yeah, she said she deleted all her social media because people were blaming her for what he did. And it's like that's tough. I know that she probably went through a lot of stuff that it seems like it wasn't like really touched on, like how her grieving process necessarily went. But for someone so young and also be like kind of like not the forgotten child, but you know, like not really paid attention to as much. It's like that's rough.
Yeah, fuck. This movie's really good. It does such a good job of kind of like playing.
Yeah, that's why I don't understand. I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but that's why I never got like the half star reviews and the 2-star and the 1-star, and like this movie sucks. This movie, it's like, what did you sit down and actually like let yourself think about what you're seeing? Like, I mean,
So I guess what was your favorite scene?
My favorite scene.
What'd you actually choose? Because I chose the fishing scene.
My favorite scene was just really light. It's Emily and Luke after they had ecstasy at that little party and were running through the sprinklers and just goofing off, and I thought it was cute.
It is.
I feel like that was like the moment
we need that.
They both
while watching this crazy dark movie.
For the first half to be as wild and rough as it is, and for the second scene to kind of like try to like heal you from that's why I like it. It just feels like that was like that moment that they were coming together. And that also probably something that she really needed.
Yeah, for sure. Trader Schultz, the director, he was kind of an understudy of Terrence Malick, who's a filmmaker that's from Texas, still lives here. and definitely is like a very experimental filmmaker. Like some people, like some people like my good guy Connor here. He like, doesn't like his style at all because it's very much like the second half of the movie of Waves, where it's like very like look at this, look at this landscape, or look at like this water, or just like films nature a lot.
Yeah.
And so obviously Waves, he's definitely trying to do that in the second half of the movie. Like it's like a lot slower. Like let's appreciate what's around us. Like when they're just swimming in the river, it's like let's just look underwater. Let's like look at these trees. Malick takes that to the extreme. And so Trader Schultz was an understudy and actually worked on some of his sets. So he like became enamored by his filmmaking style, and definitely uses that style for his own films. But Waves, the first half is like there's no comp for it. There's no comparison for how fast it is. It's really like Euphoria.
It is
just the sheer pace of it, which makes sense because the producers that worked on Euphoria also worked on Waves and help fund it. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
But Euphoria, like it's kind of the pillars of its success are Zendaya. What's the other Hunter
Schafer?
Is that right? Hunter Schafer? Is that right?
Why does it not feel right? I want to say yes.
I want to say that's right. Like those two like performers, like people that really love, and the like wild nature of it, like the partying, the crazy like sex, drugs, rock. Hunter Schafer, yeah. Like all of those things are in the first half of Waves, where it's like very fast. And from the very beginning of the movie, we hear Animal Collective, Florida is the name of the song, I believe, playing, and the camera's just spinning inside the car, and you're like, oh boy, here we go. If you're not into that, I kind of get it. Like I get it's like nauseating. It's kind of up their own ass. Like, really, dude, like can you just like film the movie? But I love style. I love like wild colors, wild camera techniques. Even if they do them like over and over and kind of like hit you over the head with it. I just respond to it. I really like it. I mean, it goes from that to Tame Impala, Be Above It playing, and it's like filming him running in a circle while he's getting ready to wrestle, and you're like, man, this guy's life is wild. Like, and you get the sense that he never has any downtime.
Yeah,
which is like a big part of his downfall. Is like when he finally does have downtime, he's like, I don't know what the fuck to do, so I'm gonna do drugs.
Right.
Or I'm like steal my dad's oxy. So like I'm gonna fucking buy vodka. I'm gonna do stupid shit. I'm gonna smoke a bunch of weed and put my fucking head out the window listening to Kendrick Lamar. Like he is moving at such a crazy pace for an 18-year-old, which is like which happens to a lot of 18-year-olds. They're just like pushed to the grindstone of like figure it out, get great grades, play your sport, have a girlfriend, have all your friends that you hang out with, be in the know about all these different things, have Snapchat, have Instagram, have Twitter. It's like, fuck, like let them be a kid, which is why I struggled so much in high school, which is why I dropped out, because I was like, I can't handle
the pressure.
No, it wasn't so much the pressure. It was just like, what are we doing all this for? Like, what the fuck is the point of all this,
Yeah.
And like, I hate to say it, but I kind of was right. I was like 16, but I was right because I just, it didn't really matter whether I stayed or not. I'm pretty sure I got better life experiences away from all that. So I just relate, or not, I don't know if I relate. I understand the first half of the movie because it's like, man, this kid just got fucking pushed and pushed, not just by his dad, but by his teachers, by his wrestling coach. The fucking wrestling team, I am, what do they say? I am a new machine. I cannot be taken down. I am a new machine. Which is, the coach is played by Bill Weiss. He's wonderful in this movie. And yeah, I mean, the way he talks to them is like, dude, they're wrestlers. Like they're not
children.
They're not fucking Marines.
Right.
Like, calm down. These are boys. Like these are boys. And it's like, he's like, you know what? You'll never get motherfucking second place. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah. It's
calm down, It's so over the top. And like, I love that about the first half of the movie. I think I just respond more to the slower paced, really like kind of tender, poetic side of the movie. But I love both. That's why it's 5-star, like 10 out of 10, one of my favorite movies of the decade.
I mean, they both, even though they're so very different, they're both necessary, like obviously for the movie. Just you can see like just when you're pointing out the camera style and how different it is in the first and the second half. Like the spinning, even though some people might find it obnoxious, is to create the illusion, or not even illusion, like just to show that it's chaotic. This is going to be wild. And
Yeah.
it's going to be a little all over the place, and it's going to be like a roller coaster basically of like just emotions and a lot of different shots, a lot of different lighting and stuff like that. And then it's like complete opposite. It's like more like in the second half, like more close up of like their facial expressions,
Yeah.
and more still shots, and not so much of like the whimsical like camera in a constant spin. And I think there's one scene like where it's like, doesn't it like kind of like almost like shoot like it's being flipped over in a way? Like
Yeah.
there's not anything crazy like that in the second half. It's just kind of like it's
More
there
it's
to
patient. Yeah.
it's there to kind of like slow you back down because you're probably like amped up from the beginning
Yeah.
and how chaotic it is. And it's
Up
needed.
really up until the actual, I think it's an hour and 13 minutes in when finally we're sitting down in the car with Tyler and he's been arrested,
Mhm.
and the red and blue lights like boom, 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 like pounding away at you, and you're like, "Fuck!" Like,
Yeah.
get me out of here. To where it transitions to Taylor Russell to Emily's face. It's not really until then that you get a break. You're like,
It's almost like you can breathe.
oof. You're like,
Yeah.
fuck. Because like when the sirens are going and the red and blue lights, it's like, oh my god, like it's so
The music,
yeah, it's so
all those
like
elements are to get you riled up. You feel the intensity, and then just to completely like just cut straight to like that calm, cool toned like scene of Taylor in the backseat of the car. It's like
yeah, on the way to his arraignment. Yeah,
Yeah.
like fuck. So yeah. So this is a wonderful movie. There's like so many scenes to choose from that like you could choose as your favorite because it's just loaded with like crazy moments. I've always loved the initial when he does see the stuff online from Alexa Demi's character Alexis, that she's at prom or at the Maverick Ball with somebody else. I love that scene when the mom and dad confront him, and you finally find out that that's not his real mom.
Yeah.
And he's like, you're not my fucking real mom. Fuck you, bitch. You know, he's saying crazy shit to her.
Outrageous stuff.
You're like, pathetic.
You can't even have kids of your own.
Yeah. And then when finally the Sterling K says, ease back, Tyler. And then he says, hey, shut the fuck up. Like he realizes like, oh, Tyler's like, he's not going to listen.
No.
So he's like, I got to use force. And he's like, I'll lay your ass out. And he's like, come at me, bro. He's like, he's saying crazy shit to him. And he's like, when this is my favorite, I think Kelvin Harrison's best stuff I've ever seen is when he's like, I fucking hate you, man. I can't fucking stand you, man. Like that moment is like, dude, that kid's talented, you know? He's like super talented. And then he pushes him to the ground, and then you hear Kanye West, I am a god.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Jesus Christ. And he gets in the truck, and the rest is history with that whole bit of the movie. But it is captivating as hell because you know something's coming.
Oh yeah.
You know he's gonna do something like
the minute
horrible.
It just keeps building when they're just like in the foyer of like the house and they're having that argument. I'm just like, I feel like in that moment you kind of like you just accidentally kind of like hold your breath a little bit.
Yeah.
It's getting intense. I mean, he's saying horrible things to both his parents.
He's drunk. He's high.
Yeah. He's mixing pills.
He gets this nice truck, his dad's truck, steals the keys. Off. Yeah. Like, pushes his dad to the ground, who's got like a hurt knee. Ugh.
Yeah.
And then like when he gets to the house, to the party, he doesn't go through the front door. He goes around the back to the backyard because he's like, I'm about to fuck shit up.
Yeah.
And it is scary. It's like
he's on a mission at that point.
And his friend Ryan is like, whoa, dude.
He's like, your mom just called. She said there's an emergency. You can't. He just kind of like brushes off. Like, yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, it's fine. He's smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
It's like Tyler smoking a cigarette. Like I would have been. That's when I would have been like, something's wrong, because he like never does that in the movie until then.
Like he didn't really do much of that at all because it opens kind of like in a party. He kind of just like gently socializes, but it's not like he's going into like
scary.
And, like, no. So, I mean, that should have been an automatic like tip off that this is not normal behavior.
Yeah.
But they're all probably like drunk at this point, not really giving a shit, as was Emily.
Correct. Yeah. Well, yeah, because like when you're a high schooler and you're partying with other high schoolers, you shouldn't have to worry about someone stalking around about to hurt somebody.
No.
You should be able to be free and be a kid, but they're not allowed to be because this guy, ruined the entire night. and it's like a traumatic experience for everyone involved. So fucking crazy. It's really crazy, like really well done scene. Like there's the tension that raises and raises until the garage moment. And then I do think it's an interesting choice. A lot of the movies widescreen, like typical aspect ratio widescreen, like looks really good. And then it changes to the box, the 4:3 aspect ratio after he punches her and she falls to the ground to kind of change the tone. Like, oh, this just got really real.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people complain about that. It's like, all right, dude, like we get it. You went to film school. We get that you like wanted to show off all your tricks. And I understand that, but it doesn't like bother me. I'm not like, fuck this movie because of a creative decision.
I think there's a lot of people out there who kind of just they take their opinions a little too seriously, where I feel like it's like the end all be all. Like it's just a slight change. And I feel like I don't hate it. I don't think it helps or hurts like the scene. It just adds a little something to it. It kind of makes you almost like if you weren't paying attention, which I don't know how you weren't, because that entire scene leading up to the
it's quick though. The actual punch, and when she falls, it cuts to black.
It cuts to black and then goes immediately into that.
But you're like, something bad just happened. Like she might have died.
It's like that's why I feel like it's not a terrible thing, because it makes you kind of focus in on like, oh shit, just got real.
Yeah. And it changes your perspective for sure. Yeah.
Just that scene alone. I remember I knew something bad was going to happen the first time you showed it to me in that moment. And I was not prepared for that. And every time I watch it now, I just feel like I have to like kind of look at it from like the side, because it's so quick and heavy. And she's like, she's angry. You just feel for her. Yeah. Like she just wants to have this kid, and she's willing to do that without him, which I feel like, I mean, at this point, she's got her parents who clearly are awesome. Yeah. Because we see earlier in the movie that they have spaghetti with them, and like they seem like such cool parents. They're like talking about like her little like baby stories and whatnot. Clifton Collins also, like, why the hell is he in this movie? I don't know, but he's great. The little moments he has in this movie as Alexis's dad, he's awesome. It's just that scene. It makes your heart race, just because you know that he's pissed, you know that he's there on a mission, you don't know what he's gonna do if you're a first time watcher. But then as it happens, you're just like, no way, that just happened. Like, fuck me. Yeah. It sucks. That's a heavy scene. That's why I was a little weary of showing it to some people, because I'm like, I know that seemed intense. I mean, when you told me you watched it in theaters, like, I think you said like there was a woman in the theater who was like watching it. Up until that point, she like got up and left. Yeah, then it was just me. There was no one else. Yeah. I mean, it didn't do very well, and like no one knew about it. No. And it was playing at Embassy, which is where like a lot of, they'll get a lot of indie stuff there. And so that's where I went to see it. And she was probably like 40, 50 something. And I was like, what is she doing here? Like, did she just hear about choose this randomly? Like, oh, I'm just gonna go see a movie, and like, which I respect. Like, oh, I'm just gonna go see a film on a Tuesday. Fuck it. That's what I was doing, but I knew what I was getting into, because my favorite podcaster and one of my favorite movie writers of all time, Sean Fennessy, called it the most. He's like, please go see Waves. It's the most stunning movie experience of the year. And I was like, okay, well, I'll go. Yeah, I mean, I know him well enough, and I was like, I'll go check it out. So that's kind of why I went. This lady probably didn't read or listen to Sean Fennessy, so she didn't know what she was getting into. But yeah, man, I mean, this movie fucking rules. And I know when Connor watched it finally, he was like, okay, I see it. He's got to get why you like this so much, and showed it to pretty much my entire family, and they were like, yeah, this is Austin's alley for sure. And that's why I have it here in my top 10. One of the last things we want to do before we get out of here is the What's in the Box segment, which is, Brianna, where we find a few letterboxed reviews, and I'll read them, and then you can like react to them. Okay. So here we go. What's in the box? What's in the fucking box? Give me the gun. Okay, I have 3 of these. Let's see, I have them saved here on the phone. I have 2 like funny / negative ones, and then 1 positive one. So let's do this one. So 1 star. 1 star from Michael, who's a funny guy on it's going to be hard to search Michael. Michael's a patron account. There's obviously a lot of Michaels out there, but it's a pretty popular one. It's a review from July of 2020. So
almost a year after this movie came out, and he says, if someone took a playlist titled Vibes and turned it into a movie, 1 star.
Oh my God.
Open parentheses. Those SZA, Frank Ocean, and Alabama Shakes needle drops, though, with the hand emojis, like praising hand emojis, which is like, that's funny. I mean, 1 star is a harsh, but like I get it.
It's a light negative review. It's not as
they're trying to be funny.
Yeah.
They're trying to be funny.
Yeah.
This one's even funnier. 2 stars from Rowan. This was a review from December of 2021. I am a simple man. I give half a star for every Frank Ocean song played. Edit. Did the math and realized there were 6. Frankly, see what I did there? This film doesn't deserve a 3. Jesus Christ, that's too much Frank Ocean. Yeah, because Frank Ocean played throughout.
It is.
And was the trailer song,
yeah.
Godspeed.
I didn't realize that until this review. Yeah, it's a lot of Frank
Ocean. Yeah, clearly Trader Schultz likes Frank Ocean. He's fine. I like him too. He's cool. I just thought that one was hilarious. This last one's from Ho Hey Moon. This is a positive one. 4 stars. Real people, real lives. Hurt people, hurt people. I have found that with many things that are brilliant beyond belief, it is easier to just accept that is simply what they are. We tend to abstract the things that overwhelm us instead of appreciating it even more because we don't understand it. And sometimes, rather than creating art itself, I feel like even words are guilty of oversimplifying art. That's why a bland review won't do it. Love that.
That's nice.
I feel very similar. It's just one of those things that I feel like I can't quite articulate, but I can if you give me the time.
Right.
If you give me a couple hours on a podcast, I'm sure I can say some stuff I love about it. But if someone's like, give me a sentence on waves, I can't do it. It's going to be really difficult, other than like, I love it, you know, and I hold it very close to my heart. It's one of those movies that's like, I'm going to see this a bunch more times.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try to show it to people. And I know you and I will have plenty of times that we're going to watch this again. And I'm going to enjoy it every single time.
It's true. I mean, I also didn't realize that the what's in the box thing was a just you thing. So I tried to make sure I was prepared with all my notes.
You picked some?
I picked one.
Let me hear it. Yes. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure I was thorough. But
love it. Love it.
This is from a Patreon account under Liam, and they rated it 5 stars.
I follow Liam. I love this review.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And they also like the film. And it says, in quotes, what a difference a day makes. And then it goes, a tale of 2 halves. The first, holding your breath and breaking your heart in 2. The second, walking beside you, piecing it back together again. It's a tragedy that gives itself the time to heal, the time to breathe. Life changes with the tides. It comes and it goes in waves, but with every retreating tide is the promise of another to come. Each wave brings its own adventure, its own highs and lows. Out there is an ocean full of new chances to forgive, to forget, to grieve, to rebuild, to love. This is cinema at its most powerful.
Oh, yeah. So Liam, one of my favorite things about Liam is there was like a stretch of like a year where they watched Waves like 7 times and logged it every single time.
No way.
So it was like 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars, and it had a different review for every time they watched it. And like one of them was just like, help. And I was like, oh, that's great. But I read that one because that's like the longest one. It's like the most like well articulated review that Liam has of Waves. And I was just like, that's so cool that like there was like 2 days in a row where Liam watched Waves back to back. It was just like, I can't get enough of this movie.
I love it. That seems so heavy back to back to back.
Yeah.
Like that.
But if you love something, sometimes like heavy's good. You know, like my favorite movie of all time is Magnolia, and it's not like a fun watch. You know, it's not like easy.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, I like those emotions.
I saw a review actually that I wasn't going to add, but like you said, Magnolia is your favorite. Someone said that this is like the A24.
Magnolia, right?
Yeah.
Yes, this is like the Magnolia of A24. I saw that. Yeah, I was looking at reviews like a bunch yesterday for Waves, and I was like, man, some people hate this movie.
I didn't realize how much they hated it until you brought it up.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Because I normally don't check reviews at the time when I watched Waves, I wasn't looking at reviews, but I started doing it more and more as I started getting more involved in Letterboxd and watching
Yeah.
movies. And Jesus, this movie it's almost, it's like a half and half response. Like there's people who really, really love it, and people who are like, this movie is stupid, it's dumb, it's childish. Um, Tumblr movie, which
Whatever.
such a funny comment.
Yeah. Honestly, it's just like, it's not for you, and that's okay.
It's fine if something's not for you.
That's okay.
But I think it's funny when people who don't find a movie for them, they try to absolutely like just shit on it and make it seem like, well, if you watch this, then you're like
a
less
loser.
intelligible or you're a
Yeah.
loser.
Yeah.
Because my opinion is like the end all be all.
Yeah. And that's like one of the like unwritten rules or unspoken things that we do at Filmgazm is like we talk about so many different kinds of movies.
Mhm.
I mean, just during this project, we've been able to have good conversations around, like Ready Player One, Waves, The World's End, and like it always ends up being this really, really good conversation because we're not just taking into account, how we feel about the movie, but just kind of like what surrounds it, how like what do we attach to the movie? Like obviously you and I attach ourselves to Waves. When Adam and Connor talked about The World's End, I was like, well, that conversation like went into really cool places. It's because they like allow themselves to just kind of like see where it goes rather than be like, oh, this movie rules, and if you don't like it, you suck.
Right.
We don't do that. We have so many different kinds of episodes, so many different kinds of movies represented, and that's hats off to Connor for always
Keeping it open.
He like never shuts anything down. He's like,
Mhm.
let's talk about as many different kinds of movies as we can. So I've always loved that. It's one of the reasons we get along so well. One of the reasons this fucking thing works. So uh thank you guys for listening. This is a really fun episode. If you like what we do, feel free to follow us on social media. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you go to Letterboxd and you go to Connor95, you can easily find myself, Brianna, Adam, most of the Filmgazm team on Connor's Letterboxd under his followers or following. Check out filmgazm.com for trailers, reviews, all kinds of jazz. You can listen to podcasts on there as well. If you'd like to become a monthly donor to Filmgazm Productions, feel free to click on the link in the episode description. From there, click on support this podcast. Any amount of donations will go right back into the podcast. We appreciate any support you all can give. Thanks to the entire Filmgazm team. Brianna, thank you for joining us today. This is hopefully something we can do again. Special shout out to Cooley Cal for the music at the beginning and the end of all of our episodes. That guy rules. Most of all, thank you guys for listening. If it wasn't for you, wouldn't have a reason to keep doing this and keep doing the best stuff we can do. So hope you guys will be back soon. Keep watching movies, and we'll have a ton of content this week. So bear with us and have a good night.